God had just promised to bless Abram, so why did he suddenly run to Egypt? Not long after God called Abram to the land of Canaan, a severe famine struck the region. Food became scarce, and Abram decided to travel to Egypt, where there was plenty of food. But as they neared Egypt, Abram became afraid. His wife Sarai was very beautiful. Abram feared that the Egyptians would kill him so they could take Sarai for themselves. So he asked her, "Please say you are my sister, so that I will be treated well because of you and my life will be spared." Technically, Sarai was Abram's half-sister, but he deliberately hid the fact that she was also his wife. Instead of trusting God to protect him, Abram relied on his own plan. It was a decision driven by fear rather than faith. Or would Abram's plan save them, or lead to disaster? Abram's plan seemed to work, until everything went terribly wrong. When Abram and Sarai arrived in Egypt, the Egyptian officials noticed Sarai's extraordinary beauty. They praised her before Pharaoh, and soon she was taken into Pharaoh's palace. Believing Sarai was Abram's sister, Pharaoh rewarded Abram with sheep, cattle, donkeys, servants, and camels. From the outside, Abram appeared to be successful, but there was a serious problem. God had promised that his covenant would continue through Sarai. If she became Pharaoh's wife, God's promise seemed to be in danger. But God would not allow his plan to fail. The Lord sent severe plagues upon Pharaoh and his household because of Sarai. Something was terribly wrong, and Pharaoh knew it. When Pharaoh discovered the truth, how would he respond? The pagan king ended up teaching Abram a lesson about honesty. After the plague struck his household, Pharaoh discovered that Sarai was actually Abram's wife. He confronted Abram and said, "Why didn't you tell me she was your wife? Why did you say she is my sister, so that I took her to be my wife?" Pharaoh immediately returned Sarai to Abram. Then he ordered his men to escort Abram, Sarai, and all their possessions safely out of Egypt. Abram left Egypt with great wealth. But this story isn't about how clever Abram was. It's about how faithful God is. Abram acted out of fear, yet God protected his covenant and kept his promise. Even when we fail, God remains faithful to his word. Fear can lead us to make poor choices, but God's faithfulness is greater than our failures. Abram believed God's promise, but when trouble came, fear took over. Instead of trusting God to protect him, he relied on his own plan and told a half-truth that put Sarai in danger. This story teaches us that fear can cause us to make poor decisions, even when we know God's promises. It also reminds us that partial honesty is still deception. Abram didn't tell a complete lie, but he hid the truth to protect himself. Another surprising lesson is that God's plans don't depend on our perfection. Abram failed, yet God remained faithful and protected Sarai because his covenant could not be stopped. Finally, we see that our choices affect others. Abram's decision brought trouble not only to himself but also to Sarai and Pharaoh's household. When fear tells you to rely only on yourself, remember Abram, pray first. Trust God before taking matters into your own hands. God doesn't promise a life without problems, but he does promise to be faithful through them. Closing verse. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs 3 verse 5. Follow for more Bible stories, lessons, and life applications in 90 seconds.